Welcome back, Team Jesus followers. I'm Dusty Mitchell, and I am back. I haven't really gone anywhere, but I haven't uploaded a video in a while. In fact, I'm not wearing the Team Jesus shirt, so this video sort of seems a little unofficial. Normally, that's my thing. I'm usually wearing the shirt because I have just come from a training session, and I wanted to be really intentional about sharing with what I'm learning, what I'm going through as I train, because I'm really, again, very intentional about listening, downloading from Holy Spirit, going after God, using the opportunity to train as an opportunity to really focus in on hearing what God has to show me and what He wants to teach me through the training session, and what I can apply to my spiritual life. That's what Team Jesus essentially is all about. But it's been a while since I've done a video, and there are things on my mind, and so this is actually a pre-training session video, but I wanted to just share a little bit about what's happening, what's going on, and where my thought processes are. So, I'm not wearing the shirt. It's a V-neck shirt, which I'm told is not a good idea. But you know what? That's another thing. Listening to the world, listening to its thoughts about you and being conformed by its standards really keeps you locked up and unfree from being who you're created to be in the first place. I think that's one of the traps that we have all fallen into, is that we are living by someone else's standards, or trying to meet someone else's expectations. When God tells you who you are and tells you that you're enough, and He lets you know your value is that heaven went bankrupt in order to redeem you back to who you were created to be in the first place. And once we understand that, things becomes so much clearer. But man, it really is about transforming the mind, to really come to understand that. And the only way that you're going to understand that is to experience that. And the only way that you're going to experience that is you walk it out in faith, and you go after it. You get really intentional about understanding and about seeing it that way, and about having your mind made up and changed to think that way, because that's not the world that we came up in. That's not the natural world or the fallen world that we came up in, and that's why we end up getting in the state that we do, because we've essentially went our own way, or went after what the world sees as the right way to go, and oftentimes that's not aligned with what God has for us. So anyway, the what I wanted to share, where I've been as of late, and I've been sharing this with friends of mine, is there's been a couple of instances where it's come across my mind, that I'm spending a lot of time training, and while I'm also trying to pursue other things in life, and trying to pursue a career, and trying to get things going in that direction as well. It's occurred to me, am I being as responsible as I can be with my time? And is this training, is it as valuable to me as I make it out to be? And Holy Spirit has really just had to remind me that, again, this time refocuses you. It allows you to pull back and see things big picture, and get out of this locked-in mindset of, when you're going through your work, your day-to-day work, and you're going after something. It's easy to get really locked into that one thing and think a certain way, and it's good to come back and get a different perspective. And for one, training does that for me, and it allows me to, again, be really quiet, really intentional, reset the mind, and reestablish what my why is in the first place. And it makes it very important that the goal, that the thing that I'm going after, career, triathlon, that not take place and that not be priority, that in my life, that it's not the number one thing, right? That I don't make an idol of it, that God is first in my life, and the whole why behind whatever I do is that I can encourage others and enlighten others and share the truth with others. And he has got to be the why. There has to be something bigger than self driving what you're going after. Otherwise, you can totally ruin yourself and get consumed. And so, essentially, what I'm sharing today is the investment. Asking the question, is your investment in endurance sport, is it accomplishing your purpose or something else? And what is that purpose? God's given us a purpose, and he wants us to be able to use our talents and abilities to be able to glorify him. And that is one way that I see triathlon, is this is something that I'm capable of, and it's something that I enjoy. And being able to do that and pursue that is a great thing. It's wonderful. But if I lose track of the reason why I'm doing it in the first place, then my time is not well spent. But if my whole intention is that when I compete, when I train, that I'm going after him, or that I'm glorifying him by encouraging others and by being that example, then I'm using my time wisely. But it's very important that I not lose sight of that going after achievements or prominence is not the answer. God doesn't need your prominence. He wants your obedience, and he wants your heart. Where's your heart in all this when you're doing these things? Is it for self-glory? Is it for you to podium for self? Or, I think it's a great thing to be able to podium, but that shouldn't be the overall goal. The overall goal is that when I'm racing, when I'm wearing Team Jesus, and literally wearing Team Jesus, I am his brand. But just like today, I'm not wearing the Team Jesus shirt, but I'm still wearing his brand. And that's got to be the driving factor. That's got to be the driving force, is that I know that who I am, and that I always have something to be able to give and offer and share. And being able to train and compete in triathlon only helps me to develop the mindset even further. It puts me in this mode where if you get really serious about triathlon, it becomes a lifestyle. You start to train around it. You eat very intentionally, train very purposefully. Christianity is no different. It is a lifestyle, and it really, when you get serious about it, when you really go after it, when you really understand what it is that God has given you and your purpose, then everything changes. Everything. Your life is transformed. And then it takes the mind to be transformed, because that has got a developed old habit from a long time ago, from coming up through the way the world sees things. But you have to change your mind. And when we start to become very intentional about going after God, and about developing this relationship, and about really understanding our why and going through life that way, then it becomes a lifestyle, and our whole life molds around that when we start to be very intentional about all the things that we do. And the thing is it really does become about creating this mindset, about having the mind, about just being, so that every interaction is sincere. It's just a part of you. It's not that you're trying or pushing yourself on anyone, or you're pushing your beliefs or your perspective or your world view. It's just who you are, and it becomes a natural outflowing. Um, that's what a lifestyle is. That's what Christianity is.